This Wednesday workout is provided by ComTrain and it's called Pipes. So my little Lillian Piper here wants to show you her pipes. Boom. Say we expect to see some flex picks today, all right? Show it off, have some fun, have a good workout. Coach Danielle is gonna go through the movements for you.
Hey guys, Coach Danielle here, bringing you Wednesday's at-home workout. So what it is going to be, option one, the with equipment version, is going to be sit-ups, push-ups, and pull-ups. So the way that workout's gonna flow is it's gonna be 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 sit-ups, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 push-ups, and then 25, 20, 15, 10, 5 pull-ups. So you'll be doing 50 sit-ups, you'll do 50 push-ups, 25 pull-ups, 40 sit-ups, 40 push-ups, 20 pull-ups, 30, 30, 15, so on, all the way down to 10, 10, and 5. That is going to be 4 times. So completion of all reps, and then once that is done, clock your time. So with option one, what we see is we've got ab mat sit-ups, we've got push-ups, and we've got pull-ups. So for ab mat sit-ups, if you have a ab mat, that's perfect. Otherwise, just kind of roll up a towel for underneath your back, or just be very conscious of making sure that you're pressing your lower back into the ground. So I'll go ahead and just show you the standard for our ab mat sit-ups. So I'm going to take my ab mat, I'm going to make sure that the rogue or the thick part of the curve is going to be facing towards my butt. Set that on my mat. I'll sit down, giving myself about an inch away from that mat, just so I'm not kind of right on top of that, and making that rub here. So again, feet, soles of your feet together, knees out wide, so we're making sure we're engaging our core a little bit more than our hip flexors. Standard for this is when we lie back onto the mat, we want to make sure that our shoulder blades touch the ground behind us, and then when we come up, make sure our shoulders are parallel with our hip crease. So again, that's going to look like this: shoulder blades hit the ground, pull yourself up so that your shoulders are parallel with your hip. One thing we want to think about with this is think about keeping your head tall towards the sky. So we don't want to be hunching over like this. We want to keep that that room for our air to kind of flow through our lungs, and make sure that we have a good, nice stacked position here. Again, you can kind of use your hands to get some momentum up. And a couple of those will look like this. Next, we have push-ups. So for our push-ups, again, standard is top of your thighs, chest hit the ground, and then full extension in the elbows on the way up. So a couple push-ups that would be standard, look like this, all the way down, all the way up. So we want to make sure that we keep our midsection intact, keep that integrity nice and strong, so we're not kind of sealing the motion like this, where we sink our lower back to the ground and we push up like that. That would be technically a rep, but we don't want that because it's going to put our lower back a little bit more at risk for some injury. So if you cannot do RX push-ups like that, you can either find an elevated surface to go to. So let's say you have a bench here, just go ahead and do your elevated push-ups to an elevated surface. Again, the same thing, all the way down, chest hits the surface and then back down. Otherwise, you can do push-ups from your knees. If you do this, make sure that we're tucking our glutes, or squeezing our glutes, tucking our tailbone all the way down to the ground again, and push back up. Lastly, for pull-ups, if you do have a pull-up rig or something on an elevated surface you can hang on to, a door, top of a door, whatever, push-up or pull-ups, again, are going to be full arm extension at the bottom, chin over the bar or over that surface that you're pulling up to at the top, and then re-extend the arms all the way down. Those can be kipping, butterfly, strict if you wanted to, wouldn't recommend it. So one thing to think about with the strategy and stimulus for this workout, you want to keep in mind that with some of the bigger sets for sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, maybe you break those down a little bit more frequently in 3 to 4 sets, so that you can save bigger sets for the quick sets, like the 20 and the 10 and the 5 rep scheme. So with that, it's a good push-pull upper body combination today. It will be a fatiguing upper body workout as well as somewhat of a core workout, but this is going to be 4 time. It should be a fun one, give you a good pump. All right, and then we have our option 2. Option 2 would be without equipment. It's basically going to follow the same exact rep scheme as well as movement. So we've got sit-ups, push-ups, and odd object row. So it's going to be 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 for all 3 movements this time. Sit-ups are going to stay the same standards. Top of your shoulder blades hit the ground at the bottom, and then you come up so that your hip crease or your shoulders are parallel with your hip crease at least. Push-ups, again, same standard. So chest, top of the thighs hit the ground, and then full extension in the elbows on the way up. This time for our pulling motion, we've got an odd object row. So just go ahead and find a duffel bag filled with some books, some weights, grab a heavy backpack. If you do have a dumbbell, that'd be awesome as well. So again, for those odd object rows, place that right at your feet. We want to hinge back with our hips first, keep our spine nice and neutral, grab your object, and we're just gonna row it to our chest and then back down. Row it to our chest and back down. So with that, we want to make sure that we pull that all the way up as far as we can. Think about squeezing our shoulder blades, keeping our core tight, and then we always want to think about keeping our spine nice and neutral. A good warm-up for today's workout will be take 8 minutes. Do this for quality instead of quantity. So in an 8-minute running clock, you're going to do 30-second hollow hold, a 200-meter run, 10 pass-throughs, and then 5 inchworms to push up. So for the 30-second hollow hold, we should all know how to do these, but just a quick recap, you're going to go ahead and find a seat on a mat. Make sure you keep your lower back in contact with the ground. I'm going to start by raising my legs first, keeping my lower back in contact with the ground, raising my arms, and then I'm going to keep that nice hollow hold position. So again, what that's going to look like here, tuck that lower back into the ground, feet raised, arms raised, and I'm holding this nice banana position for 30 seconds. You'll go out for a 200-meter run, come on back. You're going to find a either a broomstick, if you've got a towel, if you've got a sweatshirt you can use. For this demonstration, I'll go ahead and use my sweatshirt. So pass-throughs again. If you also have a band, that'll work too. So go ahead, find your piece of clothing, PVC pipe, whatever you're going to use. I'm just going to go all the way over my head and then all the way back. Again, with this, you can still start to narrow your grip the more that you do. But again, with this, make sure we are thinking about keeping our core brace nice and tight so we're not arching our back. And again, elbows stay straight, locked out the whole time, just trying to get good range of motion through our shoulder girdle. And then finally, we've got 5 inchworms to push up. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our stance on our mat or on our floor. You're going to go ahead and bring your hands down to meet your feet. You're going to walk your hands all the way out. Do a proper push-up when you're all the way extended, and then walk your hands back into your feet. So that'll look like this. Hands down to your feet. Walk your hands all the way out. Do a proper push-up, and then walk your hands all the way back to your feet. So with this one, a nice good posterior chain stretch. We want to try to keep our knees as straight as possible throughout the inchworm to push-ups. If you do need to bend them just slightly because of maybe lack of flexibility or mobility in your hamstrings, then you can do that as well. So once again, a good warm-up would be 8 minutes for quality, 30-second hollow hold, 200-meter jog, 10 pass-throughs, 5 inchworms to push up. Repeat that for 8 minutes, and then you should be good to go for either your option 1 of with equipment, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, or 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups. Otherwise, option 2, no equipment needed other than an odd object, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 across the board, sit-ups, push-ups, odd object row. So that is Wednesday's workout. Hope you have a really good time.